what they gonna take over with? Military.
Yeah.
What the military got? Weapons. Power. Power will rule and run the world at the end of the day, which is money and weapons.
And
Hell yeah, girls come with titties and go, could you help me?
yes, sir.
Welcome back to a very patriotic episode of the Careful Boys. Where today we're going to talk about what everybody here thinks or makes America the best country in the world.
Yeah, baby.
Trump.
Number one. The fact that you are allowed to say that it's not the best country in the world and nothing happens.
That's true.
That's true. You could even burn a flag too. You could burn the whole
Why would you
country.
burn a
Would
flag?
not recommend.
Although I heard Trump say he wanted to make that a felony, and I'm like, that should never be a felony or nothing.
You know what I don't understand though is like I get people are going out to protest right now for like the illegal immigrant, like the whatever, right? But what I don't understand is why wave the flag of your home country when you're protesting in America, not to get
Because it pisses off people in
here.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you're well, like yeah. That does. I just don't get. Maybe someone could explain it to me, like in the comments or whatever. But I don't understand it.
I mean, well, number one, if they weren't holding like their own like Mexican flag and they were holding American flags, it would look like a very patriotic event.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that.
very confusing.
Yeah. So
It would maybe muddy the messaging.
No, but isn't it confused? Well, what I'm confused about is if you want to be American or in America or work in America or benefit from America, wouldn't it make more sense to wave the American flag and say, hey, this is a nation of immigrants, like we should be here too, versus like you're flying a Mexican flag or whatever flag, and then you get mad when you get deported to that country that you ran away from.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm like, what? Like, if you're so proud of it, why are you running from that country? That's why I don't get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know what I mean, I think for them, and I don't know that I'm speaking for anybody, that's for sure. But I think for them, it's like, hey, we have pride in our home country. It's kind of like how everyone knows like some Italian grandma who talks about Italy all the time, but then she lives in like New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. So it's like they're proud of their culture. The flag doesn't represent the nationalism. It's more like the culture.
I think so.
I see.
You know what it is too is I think if they were just being deported the same way that like I don't know Asians get deported when they fucking jump off the boat.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be as bad as it's the fact that they're being dumped on as a people. You know, like they're being insulted because of all there's a lot of like political insults to them. So I think that's their way of like fighting back as a statement.
I see.
You know, it's not like deporting is one thing, but then the fact that like why they're being deported sounds a lot different than why an Asian person would be deported.
also it's a statement, right? Like it's not like stopping traffic on the freeway is gonna stop, like ICE or anything like that. But it's the statement of gathering that many people, galvanizing that many humans.
No, but you gotta
that
go
represents
fuck
that.
yourself if you're gonna block traffic.
I still think that's stupid, but I understand what the motivation
I'm
is.
just saying it's the statement. So it's the same thing, the visualization of like your culture being represented at that mass amount of people.
Those people blocking freeways is nuts,
And they're blocking probably statistically more Mexicans.
dude. Legit.
Trying to go to work.
Like if you're doing that in the other,
You're never gonna reach people blocking freeways.
you're blocking the 101. That's off of Alvarado.
I feel like after traveling, I started loving America even more. Because growing up here, I don't think you appreciate it as much. And especially if you grow up in California, you're kind of, you're like indoctrinated into more of a leftist schooling system.
Yeah.
And so like, you grow up thinking like America's like fucked up. And then, there's no chance for you. And then later on, you actually like go, wait a minute, why was I told that? Because it's almost like, I don't know, it's kind of fucked up to say that to children that you're already starting at a disadvantage and shit. If I never knew that, then I would be like, yeah, I could go to college, I could do whatever. Yeah.
Well, what's the thing for you then? The what did you say?
What makes America #1 best country in the world?
Yeah.
Just simplify it. Just say what makes America great.
Again,
For you, like, what are the? What's the listicle
What's the listicle?
for you? Yeah.
of the other countries.
I do. Think
No, just like
it's,
just to answer like how I was like the fact you can criticize it. Like, what's
Yeah.
yours?
I think it's that like you can actually do whatever you want here.
Yeah.
Like you have the freedom to do whatever you want. You also have the freedom to fail harder than anyone in the world as well, and like nobody's gonna come save you. But like you have, at that price, you have the freedom to like be whatever you want to be. Like we're the dreamers, right? We get to literally, I mean, all of us here who are doing what we're doing is because we're doing shit we dreamed about doing. All of our parents are disappointed for sure in all of us.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're able to still do it, it's like, that's what we get to do in America.
Well, also, if you fail hard, like you're saying, you still probably have like 2 TVs in your house, which is insane. Like, go around the world and look for that, man. That's pretty crazy.
I think kind of like piggybacking off of your idea, I didn't realize how people shit on you in other countries when you have a dream.
Oh yeah, you remember? I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Like
Did you do that here too?
they do that
if
here.
your dream sucks, yeah.
But everyone that's moved here goes, Americans are so supportive. Like if you get together
Yeah.
and you're like, hey, I'm starting this new business, people will show up, they'll fucking buy your stuff, or they'll be like, oh, I hope it does well, whatever, right? A lot of other countries, people just are extremely jealous, or they'll talk shit, or they'll just put you down,
Put
or
you
they
down
won't
for
even
it, yeah.
Crabs in a bucket.
crabs in a bucket. We have that here clearly, right? But listening to the stories of other people that come here, or like even UK, and like they're even more like, I have no hope.
Right.
I have no dreams. I don't even want to dream. Like to dream is like lame, right? And I think that's what's pretty awesome about America.
Did Hannah feel that way?
Yeah.
Specifically?
She's like, it's completely different. Like she goes like, when you're talking to a group of friends in America, right? Like people will talk about their goals and things that they're trying to do. And that's normal conversation for us. And she goes like, that's not normal. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's kind of the same in Japan too. Like no one's actually talking about, it might be an LA thing.
I also think in our circles it's more normal because most people that we surround ourselves with are like that.
Well, we're around a lot of entrepreneurs and
They're already
entertainers.
doing that.
Like
Yeah.
when I lived in San Diego, for example, in that circle, it was not like that. It was like, yeah, that's gay, that's stupid.
Because you made a pot.
But
for your
you know
pottery
what I
class.
think it is though is the numbers are bigger here, right? So like we have so many people, you can find your people.
Right.
Whereas like in most other countries
That's
and other
true.
places, you don't have much of a population.
No.
You don't have much of an industry of choices. So like this whole country might be like, that's just coal. That's all you're gonna do. And I think it might be the same here in the States, where in Oklahoma maybe like you just got ranching. And if
Yeah,
you don't move
true.
to LA, right? But then I think that's the beauty of it, is we do have New York, LA, Houston, all these major cities that people can go to. And there's like a huge population of different choices. And you have that mobility from Hawaii all the way to freaking New York of like finding your place. And I think that's the best part about it.
Very beautiful, Joe.
Subi, what's the best part?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I notice about America is like if you need financial aid, there's a whole proper system for it.
Speaking like a true liberal.
No, I'm just saying, just in general, right? If there's financial aid, you need financial aid, there's financial aid. Sure, okay, whatever. Just in general of you literally what you guys were saying earlier, just like fucking you can go from small to big in no time. Just dream. Especially LA.
Yeah.
So you're saying like it's a place where people can come dead broke and then they can actually
Yeah, like our parents came, you know, a lot of our parents, a lot of, you know, people illegal.
Yeah, our
immigrants.
generation's proof of that.
Yeah, literally, dude. They came from nothing and they have something. They have a roof now, have a car, they have credit. You could get credit cards, you could get
Yeah, we have
loans.
resources here.
There's resources, and it's amazing.
I remember being in Singapore because I was teaching, I was doing this class thing where I was teaching, you know, students how to write a screenplay or whatever, how to structure and write like stuff, and then I remember I was making fun of like, I don't know, if you tell me not to push a button, then I really want to push it, and they were like, you can't talk badly about our government or whatever, and like we can't talk badly about our government, and I was doing bits about it, and like, no, seriously, we like you really can't here, like you cannot do it, and I was like, whoa, this is like holy shit, like, and like yeah, here, I mean, dude, this morning coming here, police were doing that zigzaggy bullshit in front of my Uber
Traffic
car.
control?
Yeah, traffic control thing. And then for like 12 minutes, I hated police. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's how America is. Like, I can hate police for 12
Freedom
minutes.
to hate.
Yeah, or I can hate police in general. And like I don't have to I could even go open a fucking website and talk about how much I hate cops or I hate the government.
You could be those guys that just film cops all day.
Yeah, those guys are oh my god, those
The cool part is you can also have whatever religion you want, believe in whatever religion you want, pray whatever you want, and preach and practice whatever you want in America.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like there's a lot of things here that are culturally okay. It's not illegal, but it's okay. Whereas other cultures, for example, when I was in Malaysia, we were on a radio show, and they're like, "Oh, tell us about like college and what you think." And I'm like, "I don't think you really need it." And they go, "Ooh, cut. Can you say like, can you not say that?" And I'm like, "Why?" And it's not illegal, but then like the cultural stuff is like, there's a lot of rules that I just don't get.
if you're not culturally reinforcing, then you're censored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's probably things like that here, but they're not things that I care about.
Well, there's a bunch of students on campuses who were talking bad about Israel, and like there's a whole call on the right side to censor them and even deport them, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that Chinese chick.
I'm not into that shit at all.
Yeah, where they're like, if you don't have citizenship and you're at a rally for Gaza, then you lose your you get deported.
That's crazy.
Well, I kind of agree with that.
Well, if you don't have citizenship, you're getting deported now.
Regardless, you're not a citizen, so you have no rights.
Right.
So
You're-
sorry,
Right.
I went into
You're
argument
But
with.
I don't agree with the language of like, let's deport an American because they're talking poorly about an ally.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
think
it's a-
citizens should have that autonomy.
I've heard
yeah.
talk about that, which
That's
is
crazy.
wild.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Because that's un-American.
Yeah.
You should be able to protest.
I do like that people have a choice of either, like, I guess, living their ideological good or evil. But then I think the problem is a lot of people are in denial that any country that becomes a superpower, obviously they are the evil empire. Like you are living the
Yeah.
spoils of an evil empire right now.
Yeah.
But then you can still choose to be a good person, you know? But then I don't think that means the country itself has to like give back all the land they took. Like that will be taken too, right after. Like it'll never end.
Well, that's just the way the world has been built, brother.
And no country that's that big would take the chance to become the new empire and then pass on it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, they're all trying to do that shit.
I mean, someone's gonna have to manage the land, and right now America's doing a pretty good job, in my opinion. Because when you go to other countries and you're just like, fuck, dude. I think there's some that might be better, but can they manage the same size and the same diversity?
No.
Because that's the real question, right? Is like a lot of people look at Scandinavia and go, well, look at them, or Japan or whatever, and it's like, yeah, but it's one culture, and it's the population's smaller.
That's the
and
main
it's
thing,
subsidized because they have hella fucking assets and like natural whatever. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna be easier to manage that compared to like we have how many ethnicities, how
many
like-
ways of life that are, like,
exactly.
conflicting, yeah,
so it's
and
like
trying to make
we're
room for that.
managed pretty freaking well for a massive country.
Yeah, it's not bad. Plus the fact that you like, what is it? The saying that like most people, whatever religion they are, is due to just being born that way. Like they didn't have a choice to like if they could look at the earth before they come out of the womb and be like, where do you want to start?
Yeah.
Like, and you think everyone's gonna pick fucking a war-torn country? Like, no, they're not gonna want that.
Hell
But then if that's just where they happen to be,
What I
damn,
like,
I'm glad I ended up here. That's
But maybe, simulation theory, we overvalue life, and when you're like you're saying you're choosing where to go, you're like, I kind of want to do hard mode this time.
it's like your fifth.
I mean, there
playthrough.
are people choosing it.
Simulation theory,
Yeah.
because people play games on hard mode all the time.
Yeah.
Some people play on hardcore mode. I think those people are crazy.
Yeah, I think those people are crazy.
Yeah.
I think most people want to avoid suffering.
Yeah, I just want to have like a good time when I'm playing a game.
You should definitely have a good time
Yeah. I don't want to get murked the whole time, you know.
when you live life, though.
I think maybe people's gripe is just that history's not taught correctly, where they're just like, look at what happened and how this country came to be.
Well, that's like the whole thing where everyone goes, oh, well, America was the slave nation. I'm like, brother, every single country was the slave nation.
The Bible can tell you that.
Yeah. It's,
But also though, it's like history not being taught correctly is such a crazy concept because like Dude, imagine you're a historical figure in America, and then suddenly, like hundreds of years later, now everybody's like, actually, this person was gay, and you're just like, wait, like nobody was there. What? You know, and 500 years from now too, they're just like, actually, this person was.
They're like, he was lisping when he in the Gettysburg Address. You can read it. You can see the lisps.
Yeah, and everything is just changes. Yeah. And granted, like sometimes it's like fairly righteous. You know, it's like, oh, dude, when we grew up, Christopher Columbus and the Santa Maria or whatever the freak, you know, he founded blah, 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 and Plymouth Rock. And that was a really cool story as a kid. Yeah. And then as like a younger adult, everybody's like, no, he was a terrible person, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, this should not be Columbus Day. We should not celebrate it.
But I think you shouldn't teach rape and pillaging to children. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing is people want we should tell the truth. And I'm like,
it should be available, but
tell
not
that
like
shit to kids.
Not in like the
when
first
you teach kids
round,
about pirates and Vikings and all that, you don't want to tell them about the truth.
Why do you want to like hurt their fucking innocence off the bat? Yeah.
Like, what do you think knights did when they rolled into fucking enemy villages? Oh yeah. Like,
yeah. Well,
they're gonna destroy King Arthur.
Knights are of honor and the round tables. Okay.
Yeah, to each other, dude. Yeah. Not to the villages, dog.
Yeah. That's why I think, like what you were saying about how, like, if you're gonna start penalizing people for like speaking out in that way, where they're like, well, I feel like what's happening in Gaza Strip is this and that, and then they get kicked out of the country. Yeah, I think that defeats the whole purpose. Like, you're supposed to be allowed to be able to criticize whatever you want. And I love that. I love that people can disagree with me. I can disagree with them, and the only ramifications is that, you know, we probably just don't like each other, but who cares? Like, whatever.
But you know what's gonna be funny is when people say, oh, it doesn't matter, you're on stolen land regardless.
That argument never makes sense.
Yeah, it never makes sense.
You're always on stolen land, brother.
Because, first of all, you're not gonna do anything about it. Second of all...
Also, are those people gonna leave?
Oh, that's...
Nobody leaves. Nobody gives it back.
Well, here's
exactly.
the thing, yeah.
Those are the people who talk about it, but they don't leave.
Exactly. The next day, he's gonna go back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
every country was stolen from somebody else or fought over.
And it's not the last time it'll be stolen.
No. Right. Hell no.
Who knows how long we can have
500
America?
years from now, someone might be more powerful like China, and they're gonna steal it too.
Yeah, if they can, they will. They got what they gonna take over with? Military. Yeah. What the military got? Weapons, power. Power will rule and run the world at the end of the day, which is money and weapons.
And bitches.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, girls come with titties and go, could you help me?
Yes, sir.
100% they're gonna help you. Well, look at all these Chinese spies. Boom, you got power, use it.
Yeah, people never stopped trying to take the land back.
Because they can't and they won't.
But like we were talking about, the warfare has just changed.
Yeah.
It's no longer like rushing bomb site A. Like, it's super different now.
I mean.
Somebody's trying to take the land back.
Our burritos are here.
Yeah.
For the third time today.
Damn, we were eating 3 burritos a day.
See, that's amazing about America. We could just get burritos to the door all day.
Yep. Can't wait for nighttime burritos.
It's like to be born in America. That's pretty cool that you get to be born onto stolen land than be born into a land that is currently trying to steal another one.
Right.
And then have the freedom to complain about it.
That's what I was gonna talk about. If you're gonna steal land,
I remember being a communist when I was in high school, learning about all the I think like the stains of America, right? And then it's kind of like a.
Did you say you remember being a communist in high school?
Yeah, I was a fucking hardcore communist.
Oh shit.
Studied Marx, all that. I just thought it was fascinating, and I was like, once you wake up to the propaganda, because we are basically brainwashed, right? To love this country, to fight for this country, everything, right? But when that moment happens, I think a lot of people feel like kind of duped, and they don't like that. And I think they're having this like weird identity crisis of like, whoa, what am I then if this isn't what the real America was about?
But you were a communist. So how did that happen if we were all so indoctrinated from our youth and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that we're not as indoctrinated as people think.
No, I became indoctrinated in another way.
Yeah.
You know,
But they
because
don't
it's
even-
all propaganda.
They don't even teach our
It's all
history very
perspective.
well. They don't even teach you how the Constitution or any of
But
that.
that's the thing, though. Everybody has the freedom to be indoctrinated into whatever they're going to get indoctrinated into.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's crazy because some
Yeah.
people just don't even have that choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just go be something else.
True.
know?
Because you're right. Because one party system states you have no choice to be brainwashed by anything else.
Yeah, if you want to be a communist, you can be a communist in America.
And there are things that suck, but at least you get to say they suck.
Yeah.
Like you can talk about the healthcare like organization and how shit it is, but some places they don't even let you speak
The
up.
police to your door. Or like I can talk shit online and like they're not going to send a fucking British Bobby to my door, which is what they're doing right now.
And you can talk about how school shootings are rampant, and you can say that all you want. It's freaking dope that you can actually make an initiative against it.
I think the choices here are pretty sick. Like you can choose, and there's like so many different lifestyles that you can have. You could be a fucking yoga instructor farmer. You could be like a straight up plumber. Like you could just choose any path.
You can multi-class. You can do multi-classes.
You can.
Yeah.
You could be a baller that's pretending to be like a homeless man.
Yep.
It's crazy.
You can complain about taxation to the point where you actually learn it, and then you don't pay anything.
Yeah.
That's the best.
It's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
Because like when you compare it to so many other countries, you're just like, wait a minute, we don't have it that bad. But then when you're living in it, you see so many problems with it.
You know how you know this is a better place than fucking UK?
Why?
Because there's so many videos of UK people criticizing America, and no one here gives a fuck about UK.
You can't even. There's no freedom of speech in UK.
Yeah.
There's no freedom of speech in UK.
People are getting
You ever
arrested.
seen those? There's like viral things like, I don't understand why Americans get like, but then like we don't fucking give a shit about what you're doing.
Wait,
Called a potato chip. It's called a potato chip. You know. Like, come on,
they
bro.
also think that we're dodging bullets on the way to work or anywhere too. They just have no idea what it's actually like to live in America, and they talk shit.
I follow this English expat that goes like how the European mind can't comprehend.
Yeah, those are so funny.
And I love his videos because he's like, so the people like in the Europe, they have no idea how big America is. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he was like giving reference to like hopping countries over there is like going from like one city to another city in America.
On a subway.
And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that's true. So they're like international. For us, it's like we're still in California. Yeah.
The video I saw was this guy like complaining that when Americans travel abroad to like the UK and then he meets them and goes, "Where are you from?" They'll say California or Illinois, and he's like, "Just say America." But then people are like, "But you don't understand. One of our states is like 3 European
Yeah.
countries, like,
That's true.
and the culture's so different that we're just used
Yeah.
to it."
Yeah. Like San Diego's different than LA, and it's
They
2
look
hours
at it
away.
like, oh, it's because we're so self-obsessed that we think it's such a big deal that the states are different. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, we don't.
First of all, we are self-obsessed. 100,000%.
But that's because no one
Yeah.
teaches us about anything internationally.
But
It's our school system.
But communicating with a British person about where you live is a lack of giving a shit.
By the way, they say shit like fucking Essex, mate. I'm from fucking Essex. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody knows where that is. At least people know where California is, bitch.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll be like, what kind of Game of Thrones kingdom is that?
Yeah, dude. Nobody cares, man. Ain't nobody ever heard of that shit.
It might not even be self-obsession, but more like we just have so many fucking problems already that like, we're not really. I'm not thinking about too much shit about
Yeah.
outside.
And I think
America's so sick because we have so many problems. Yeah.
a person from California would never say, I'm from California. They'll say the city that they're from. That's even. So they're already expanding for the foreigner. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Nobody says California.
Yeah. So if they go out of state, they're like, yeah, I'm from California.
Because San Diegans would not want to be called LA people.
Park.
Nope.
For example.
for sure,
they
yeah.
get pissed.
Just like if someone from Sacramento said they're from the Bay Area.
Oh, they'll die.
Don't die.
They'll be killed.
That's what I like about it. Is like you're free to complain about your problems and point out what's wrong with it, rather than like have your whole country shut that out and quiet every single thing. Like,
Best thing about America is no matter how rough life gets, we all are looking forward to retirement where we all move to Florida
And play golf, yes.
Play golf, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. And you can do that cheaper in America than probably anywhere in the world.
It's like a land of surprises.
Florida's nice right now.
Like something could just randomly happen to you that you weren't planning for, and it is so good for your life.
Like school shootings.
A Powerball.
Like you win a sweepstake.
Hey, Sweden just had one.
All right. What a way to end that
Sweden
one.
just had one.
Great.
Okay.
Because the Europeans think we're just dodging bullets all day.
It's the best, dude.
No,